you need to get a job that maybe they can be able to sponsor your visa, right? It's not every company in China that can actually sponsor the visa of an international. So you have to make sure that you ask this company, can they sponsor your visa? And if they say yes, this is a good thing. Working in China is very, very chaotic. I noticed how it has triggered a lot of people. And some people did not even believe me when I tell them that I'm actually working as a student and I have like a student internship kind of visa that allows me to work outside campus. A lot of people do not believe. And one of my videos even went viral just talking about this.
I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my head. I'm sick of wishing I could just forgive and forget. I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my mind, my mind, my mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If this is the first time that you're joining, welcome to the family, guys. So today's video is that one video where I wish I did a long time, because on my channel I don't really like talking about things that I haven't done or that I don't have experience in. So most times people ask me, "Oh, Amma, why are you always talking about CSC? Oh, there's so many other things you can talk about. We're always talking about China, CSC. I mean, why don't you even talk about other countries?" I knew that I have gotten admission in other countries. I knew that I have gotten some scholarship opportunity in other countries. But I just feel like, why would I want to talk about something that I don't really know so much about, right? Because to be honest, let's be honest, a lot of people lie. Yes, all these people who travel abroad, it's still everybody that is saying the truth. But on my channel, on almost channel, one of the things that I would always do is to be honest. I mean, you may not like what I'll say, but I'll say it anyway. I mean, even when I'm dealing with my clients, sometimes I tell them, wait, let me do your application and get your results first. Most of them are not patient. They'll be asking questions. Oh, my, what's happening? I've never gotten a message, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just be like, telling them the truth that, oh, you got rejected in this school. I applied to this school, you got rejected. And they get so emotional. They start shouting, they start being angry. Oh, I'm very good in my former school. Oh, I'm this and that. And then I'm just like, that was why I was telling you to be patient, to wait. China is not your country. China is not your former school or wherever you have studied. Like, there are some things that Chinese people are looking at in your course that maybe if you just in another school, they'll probably not care about this. So I just wanted to get this out there, that some of you asking me questions, and it may look like I don't respond at the time, or I don't respond the way you guys want me to respond, is because I don't want to say something that I'm not so sure about, okay? So today's video, I'm so sure about it. I have literally experienced all the things I'm going to be talking about in this video. And one of the reasons I even wanted to do this video is because of how a lot of students been able to get admission this year. And a lot of students went back to their country sad because a lot of changes happened this year. To be honest, the change started since last year. But this year is where a lot of students actually felt it. And so many students are now discouraged because in their mind, they were hoping that the way they will come to China is through the student route, whereby they will apply for a school, they get admission, and then they come to the country. And after they come to the country, then maybe they can apply for work, which is actually the best way to actually apply for work, because in a country that you have not studied in, sometimes it's not so easy to get a job in that country. So I always understand people when they take the student route to come to the country to apply for work. But why I'm doing this video is just to tell people that China is not really that difficult compared to other countries. Yes, I know that it's one of the most populated countries. The major challenge I feel that maybe some students will think they're facing is the fact that they can't speak Chinese. But for me, I believe that that is even the advantage you have, because now you're not going to be focusing on the company that wants Chinese. Yes, it might be limited, but at least now you're going to be focusing on the company that probably wants English, right? And there are even still some company who would say, yes, they want English, but even when you go and work with them, they'll still want to stress you about the fact that you don't know how to speak Chinese. This will always happen, and it's difficult. Okay, so the language is one of the most important things that I feel like everyone should focus their attention on in learning if they want to get opportunity in China. So this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can still stay back in China after you graduate. This is a very, very difficult thing, and I'm going to tread this path with caution and make sure I see what I have experience in. Because ever since I started talking about how I've gotten a job or how I'm working as a student, I noticed how it has triggered a lot of people. And some people did not even believe me when I tell them that I'm actually working as a student and I have like a student internship kind of visa that allows me to work outside campus. A lot of people do not believe, and one of my videos even went viral just talking about this. I'm very, very careful when I'm talking about this topic because I know how delicate it is. Yes, there are a lot of angry students. Probably they have tried to get opportunity and they probably did not get, and now they are putting their frustration on me. Please, guys, I'm not China. I'm not the school, okay? So the first thing I'll actually advise as a student, if you're trying to still stay back in China, is to try to extend your visa. So extending your visa is the one thing people don't know that they can't do. I wonder why. But the reason I know this is because when I graduated, I told you guys that I was always going to the immigration office. I was always asking them questions because people were saying so many discouraging things to me. Oh, when it says about expire, pack your things, go back to your country. I mean, there are a lot of things people were saying about China when I came here that me, I didn't want to believe any of them. So I always wanted to go to the immigration office and get my information firsthand. And they were always so supportive. I don't know about the immigration office in any other province, but you see Beijing, they are always very, very supportive and friendly, especially the ladies. I mean, the men, I don't know, they never really smile, but the ladies, they will always tell you what you need to hear and help you because they're not your enemy. It's just that whenever they change their fees for you, that's probably when you have overstayed. And that one is like not allowed if you overstay in China. Your visa will expire, you overstay. I mean, we won't talk about that in this video. So you have to extend. As a student, if you graduate from China, you have 1 month that's given to every student that graduates from China. If you go to the immigration office, as far as you studied in China and you graduated, you are entitled to that 1 month. And the one thing they will always ask you is that they want to see your graduation certificates because they want to be sure. And some provinces might be different, but for Beijing, they would always ask you, they want to see your graduation certificates. They'll give you this 1 month. In short, this 1 month extension is something they just throw out there to anybody that comes in immigration and be like, oh, I need more time, give this. They give you this 1 month. So I remember like when I graduated, my visa was going to expire. I didn't even get 1 month because I thought I had enough time to process my work permit, but it took so long. So with this 1 month, I was able to get all my documents ready. I don't even trust that company. That's even one of the things that I always advise people. When you even get a job in China, you have to be very, very careful, okay? Because some of these people, they'll even waste your time. And so you have to be very, very careful. So you have 1 month. Another way that you can actually extend, right? If your visa is about to expire, maybe now in a particular province, they extended the first month. You went again, and they extended the second month, and they're telling you this is the last time we're going to extend. Because guys, you have to pay only when you're extending 400 yuan, depending now, maybe they might have changed it. You can actually go to another province and actually extend. I had someone then where she didn't want to go back home and she was still trying to see if she would be able to get opportunity, and she had extended twice in Beijing. And they were telling her, after this one, that is it. Better go back to your country. And then she had to go to another province And that was where she actually extended again for another 1 month. So this is something that you can actually do. So in order to still stay back in China, try your best to be able to extend. In the university that you graduated from, you can even apply for a language course, like a Chinese course, whereby you're going to probably doing your course for like 8 months, or you're going to be doing the course for a year. So this way, your school will still give you the permission to be able to extend your visa for 8 months or a year. The truth is that when you're actually extending your visa from the student visa to like another student visa in that same university or in probably another university, it's not so difficult, right? I mean, the student route is not so difficult, but when you're like transferring from the student to work, then it's kind of difficult. Not that it's difficult, but the documents they ask you for, and then you need to authorize some of your documents. These are some of the things that you now have to do. So it's kind of, maybe you need like some time, because I remember when I was trying to extend, or should I say authorize my documents, they'll tell you, oh, come back in 2 weeks, come back in 1 week. These are things that sometimes that will actually take time. So when you are now like trying to like authorize your document or prepare your document, it will take a lot of time. If they are fast, then good, but most time they are very slow. Even your medicals, some hospital, they'll tell you, oh, come back in 1 week. So now you have to prepare your mind for this. Even the police clearance in China, they'll tell you, oh, come back in the next week. So now this is what will be taking time. And sometimes when people tell you, oh, you need to go back to your country and apply for work permit, it's not like they're saying this because they're trying to discourage you or something. They're actually saying this because they know that when you're going to prepare for this document, it's going to take a lot of time. So that's why they always say, oh, go back home, can apply for this visa, then come back. The reason they say this is so that maybe like, it's so that give you enough time. You will not be in the country and then your visa will not expire and you're still in the country. So I don't really want to talk about work now. Let me just focus on the student routes now. Then I'll talk about the work part. So when you're actually extending, know that it's easier to extend your student visa while you're in that school. So you can extend, maybe you get another major, right? So let's say you graduate, maybe undergraduate, then you can actually get masters. Then you can easily like extend in that school. It's so easy. Or maybe you go for masters and you get a PhD in that university. Then you can extend. It's so easy. But when you're going to another university, they are going to ask you for some documents. They will also need to get that JW form. And that's what you're going to use to apply for visa. So yeah, changing a university is still the student route. But when you are changing a university, they still need to get permission from the ministry and get the JW form. Okay? So let's talk about extending and staying back in China when you get a job. Okay? The first thing that you need to do is to get a job. So it's not just any kind of job. You need to get a job that maybe they can be able to sponsor your visa. Right? It's not every company in China that can actually sponsor the visa of an international. So you have to make sure that you ask this company, can they sponsor your visa? And if they say yes, this is a good thing. So you get this job, your employer will actually be the one to do this for you. You don't really need to stress. Only thing that they'll just tell you is to please provide some documents. And providing this document might take a lot of time also. So when you provide this document, then they apply for work permit for you. So that first time they apply for this is just to get like a permission to go further and apply for the work card. So the moment you get that permission, then they will tell you, oh, bring out the document that you give to us, because the first time that they apply, they're doing this online and they're probably using the soft copy that you sent to them. So when they get the permission, then they'll go ahead and show them your document that you really submitted, the soft copy. Then they'll ask for the hard copy. They'll show them. That's when you get your card, right? So after you've gotten your card, then you go ahead and apply for your resident visa. the work permit is actually not difficult, but I feel like because a lot of people don't know that it's not so difficult, or people don't have a lot of information about this, so sometimes they think that it's that difficult, but to be honest, it's not. I've gotten a work permit twice in China in the space of a year. I mean, the first one, I left that company. And another thing that you need to know about leaving a company is that the moment you leave that company and they cancel your work permit, you just have 1 month to get a new job. What this means is that, because I told you guys, there's a route, there's a student route and there's a work route, right? So the work has given you permission to be in China. But the moment you leave that work, you're not supposed to be in China. But you're entitled to 1 month. Everybody's entitled to 1 month. The moment you actually leave that job, you're entitled to 1 month. Thank God for this, because I'm sure there's some company, when you decide to leave their company, if they have a say, I mean, they will cancel your visa immediately, go back immediately. But this is a rule for everyone who leaves a company. You just have 1 month to get out of that job. And when you get out of that job, it's not so difficult applying for a visa, especially if the job you get is still in line with what you did previously. So it's not going to be so difficult. But the moment this month expires, I mean, you now get a new job, you need to go back to the immigration and apply for an extension, because if you overstay after that 1 month, you're going to look like you are overstaying, right? I did this, to be honest. I overstayed. But the reason why it did not really affect me is because when I applied for a job, right, on the resident permit, I still have 1 more year. So even when I left that previous company, because they did not cancel my resident permit, I was still in China. But this is illegal. Like, they are supposed to actually cancel my resident permit, but they did not know. Some of this company, they don't even know what they are supposed to do, what they are not supposed to do. What this company was supposed to do was, after they canceled my work permit, they were supposed to also cancel my resident permit. But in their mind, they felt, oh, it was just only the work permit they will cancel, and that was it. No. They canceled my work permit. Yes, after a month, I still need to go back, renew. But they were actually scaring me. They say, after a month, you need to go back to your country if you don't get any job. And I was so scared. But when I always went back to the immigration office and they told me, let me see your passport. And then they would check my passport. And they'll be like, but your resident permit has not expired. So I was like, oh, really? Because the resident permit means that I'm not supposed to be in China. But the company did not know. So they did not cancel my resident permit. I ran away, because I was like, okay, this company don't know that they're supposed to cancel my resident permit. Let me just leave this place and go to the place I had gotten the job and stay there. And that's the last story. Because when I went to that province to stay there, and I went to the immigration office and I told them I've gotten a job, I showed them my passport, and I told them I'm still gathering my documents, apply for my work permit. They were like, you're not supposed to be here until you get your work permit. So because on the passport, it's showing that I'm in a different province. So it was a province that gave me that resident permit. But now I'm using that resident permit to stay in another province. That is not allowed. So, but I went to the police and got the police reports that I'm in that province. So in my mind, I was just like, whatever happens and I get into trouble, I've really gone to the police and I've told them where I am. So I'm hoping that it won't put me in trouble. And even though they want to tell me that, oh, okay, you can leave, I'm just going to leave. It's not like they're going to detain me or I'm going to be in trouble. And to be honest, I really thought that after the 1 month that had expired in the previous province, I was supposed to go back. But thank God for my dad, because my dad kind of worked in the immigration office and he would tell me, let me see your passport, send me your passport. And then I was sending him my passport and he'll be like, but your passport has not expired. So I'm like, but yeah, I know my passport has not expired, but my work permit has expired. And they said, my dad will say, no, that as far as in your passport, they have not cancelled your resident permit. You can still be here. I was just so confused because they had told me they had cancelled my work permit and I needed to go. On my passports, they had not cancelled my resident permit. That's the thing. There is the work permit, there is the resident permit. So the work area is kind of a little bit complicated if you don't really understand. I hope how I'm explaining it, maybe you understand, because to be honest, there was nobody that understood. Nobody really knew this thing. It's probably because I went back to immigration and I kept asking. I know. When I went back to the immigration the first time, they told me after a month I needed to go. It was like the second time where I was talking to another person and the person said, let me see your passport. So that was when she made it obvious to me that as far they've not yet cancelled my resident permit, then I could stay. But the normal thing that a company is supposed to do is that when they cancel your work permits, they're supposed to cancel your visiting permits. I'm telling you, that's the normal thing that the company is supposed to do. But to be honest, whether they do this or not, it is not even allowed for you to still be in China if your work permits have been cancelled. And after the 1 month, it has reached, like, it's kind of illegal that you are still in China. Even though, yes, your resident permit is still showing that, oh, you can still be in China. But to them, your resident permit is supposed to be cancelled. It's just that the thing about resident permit is that resident permit is worldwide. Like, in the immigration system worldwide, it is showing currently that I am in China. Okay? So that's something that I feel like maybe you guys it will help you when you get a job and things are not going fine, because sometimes working in China is very, very chaotic and it's very, very difficult. It's not easy to work in China. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I didn't know it was this difficult. I know a lot of times people were always telling me, oh, it's not easy to work in China, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know that it's actually not easy. To be honest, I really respect the Chinese people now because they work really hard. Oh, they work so hard. And I think it's because of the population. There's always someone that can take your place. So they are so strict. The way they treat the employees is so chaotic. They treat you anyhow, talk to you anyhow, give you some kind of word that is difficult, especially for the Black women. A lot of Black guys are doing well here because, I mean, Black guys can work under any kind of pressure. But you see, Black ladies can be so stressful, to be honest. So even the second job I got, I was like, oh yeah, I've gotten a second job. It was still really, really difficult for me. I had to resign. And that was when I went back to school. So which led me to another way that you can actually stay back in China. You can stay back in China by applying for the internship route. This route is going to be your school. So it's either your school will give you permission. So if your school gives you permission that, okay, yeah, you can actually, apply for this kind of visa, then they can help you. I didn't even know that they can do this, but I think probably because they saw that I had gotten a job before. I mean, so they just felt, oh, maybe they would just help me get the internship visa. So that was what my school did. So when I came, they even got me a job, which was so cool because, I mean, I didn't know how I was going to survive. I mean, I just left a job and I had to work for some time. It's just that working as an intern, they're not going to pay you a lot of money compared to if you're working full time. This is the only disadvantage, right? And also, you can even do online jobs. This is for those of you guys always asking me, can you work in China? See, the police will never catch you if you're doing an online job. That's not a bad thing. But if you're doing like full-time working, part-time or full-time in a company, that's when then you'll be in trouble. But for online jobs, I feel like you're not really going to be in trouble. But it's really difficult to get in China. Getting an online job is very difficult. Yes, probably you just have to use an agent to get this. And then I'm going to be talking about the final pathway that I actually saw someone use. The person said that he was working, and after he had worked in a company that he did not want to work anymore. So he used the business pathway. the business pathway, it's supposed to be for people that are planning to like maybe start up their own company in China or own their own business in China. But I think a lot of students use this pathway when probably they've not been able to get a job, or they've tried getting school, they've not gotten admission. So some of them would just try their best to open like their own company in China and submit all the documents necessary for them to be able to get a visa, like a business visa, which gives them the opportunity for them to stay probably a year. And every year they need to renew this, showing that, okay, yes, they have a company in China. The thing is that you need to have a space, right? You need to have your own company space and also your accommodation. So some people, they'll have accommodation, but they'll still have a space, like a room. They are still paying for that room to show that they are living there. So this is something that a lot of people do. And I feel like you can also do this. I literally met someone who had a business visa. And the only thing was that he was working part-time because, my dear, so it's not easy to have a company. It's not easy to grow your business. Some people are not making money from their business. So I know that, yes, some people would say, yes, they have a company and everything, but it's not like they're making money from it. So they will still go ahead to be working part-time and everything. So that's it. I think these are the various ways that I know that a lot of people easily get visa from student visa. I hope this video was helpful. I know there are so many other pathways, but I just want to talk about the one that I know for sure and the one that I have seen and I have done for sure. So, and the one that is popular, very common, and I know that you have a high chance of getting the visa. So these are the part where you can actually transcend from a student visa to a work permit. So don't let anybody tell you that, oh, it's not possible to get a job in China. It's possible, but maybe you just need to try to invest in learning the Chinese language. It might be difficult, but it will really, really help you. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I would see you guys in my next video. Bye.